test on one day. India, England, Australia. For a plucky big three-side slayer. What a player. What a player. What a player. Discussing zinger bells and white balls to hells. Bagging greens for long from New South Wales. Is the RPL heaven or hell? Will the 100 fail or do quite well? What a player! What a player! What a player!
Hello and welcome to Waadaplaya Concussion Club, where we will be reviewing day one of the second test match between India versus New Zealand, played at the Wankhede. We have two in-house experts, Anil and Mithun, along with a very special guest, a stand-in captain for one test match who was left out. So, Ajinkya, I'll start with you. Ajinkya looks really...
Hey,
Okay.
how are you guys? I was struggling with little hamstring, so I was late to the show. Sorry.
Suman,
It's good that you got to know much earlier rather than just getting to know this morning.
Okay. Hopefully you're recovering well, Ajinkya. And Suman, how are you doing? Start with you.
Yeah, so far so good. Second test match, Mumbai. Little delayed start, but yeah, so caught up the highlights. Mayank Agarwal, fantastic innings, but yeah, lots to talk about.
India opted to bat first, obviously, and at the end of the day, after 70 overs, 221 for 4, starting with the team combination, lots of talks about people suddenly getting injured, and this is standard for the last couple of years, I think. Anyone you think will be dropped suddenly gets a niggle, or इसी niggle में वो team से निकल जाते हैं. So, Mithun, what are your thoughts about the team combination, etc.? Pujara, for all intents and purposes, was lucky to survive, and Rahane was dropped effectively, right?
Yeah, so Rahane is again sad to know that he got dropped through the reason of getting injured. So even though everybody knew the exact reason, because Virat is back and someone had to make a way for him, and but you couldn't drop Pujara because he's your prime number three batsman, and Rahane is someone who bats at 4 or 5. That is a position where Virat bats, and looking at that, they wanted someone to be dropped there, and the openers couldn't be dropped because you did not have any other openers as a backup, and Wriddhiman Saha scored that important runs in the second innings, which cemented his position for the second test. If Bharat had come into 11, maybe Bharat would have opened and Mayank would have sat out, and we would have missed this great knock by Mayank today, what he played if he was dropped. Ifs and buts are there, but I still feel the Indian team middle order is a concern, and this is something which will continue in all the three formats because you have a lot of you have a lot of openers.
Yeah. Three important things we'll discuss. One is Mike's batting, then Pujara's form, and Kohli's dismissal later. But Anil, coming to you, you've been desperately trying to get tickets for Wankhede. In a normal scenario, it's not too bad for test matches. I think the interest in tests have been dwindled. 2016 was the last time there was a test match at Wankhede, believe it or not, almost 6 years ago. Kohli got a brilliant 100 that time. Jayant, the other, was back in the team. He got a 100 as well. First of all, explain how disappointed are you with not getting the tickets, and are there any jugaad to get the tickets over the weekend?
I'm trying to do some jugaad because it looks like that's the only way to get a ticket. Hats off to BCCI, the way they take care of the fans, the live audience fans. This is something abysmal, if I have to say. They allowed 8,000 ticket. Okay, I'm said fine. 8,000 on a test match day should be fine, but they end up selling only 1,200 tickets, and the stadium was empty. And BCCI doesn't care because the revenue comes from the media rights and other sources, and the state gets paid handsomely from the BCCI. So nobody's bothered in a way. and then they see the test match is dying. I'm eagerly waiting to watch a test match than an IPL game. You look at today's game, you look at the last test match, it was so eventful, so many things happening. So I'm pretty disappointed. Let's see if Jugaad works and I get to watch day three of the match.
And then just to dwell on that point of how the Indian fans are treated, do go back and check out our channel for. We had an episode from the Wankhede North Stand gang back in the day. Me and Anil, it's almost a year then, so do check it
Yeah.
out. But Suman, coming to you. So all the team combinations, etc. Coming to Mayank Agarwal, there was a thread that unfortunately poor guy would be dropped, but it's been a good week for him. Good retention. And I love that meme you forwarded. Good week for the Agarwals with the Twitter CEO and what's happening with Mayank Agarwal. Really happy for him, I think.
Amazing innings, just amazing innings. Some of the cover drives he played were outstanding, and the form he was in, and he looked in complete control, flawless innings. He played the uh, Ajaz Patel spinning balls pretty well. Like we spoke offline, I think he was trying to show intent, as they keep saying, with the spinners, whereas others were trying to defend. If you look at Shubman Gill's dismissal versus what Mayank was playing, that should tell you the quality of batting Mayank did. But very pleased for him. He's giving run for the money for Rohit and KL Rahul now. India have good problems to solve for, but yeah, very, very pleased with Mayank and the way he celebrated. We also, and commentators also mentioned, the way he celebrated shows that what it means to him. The guy had a rough year, getting dropped, not getting into the 11, even if it is in the squad. So yeah, hopefully this he continues, and we've also seen his centuries and half centuries all have been in fantastic positions where India was struggling. Today, if you see, I think what 50-55% of the team score is Mayank Agarwal. So that should explain the quality of his innings.
Absolutely. So Mithun, great start by Shubman Gill, who played his part, 44 odd runs. Then 80 was the score when the first wicket fell down, and then this middle order. Pujara getting out to a spinner, very, very unlikely. Can't remember that happening uh, before at such an early stage, because he really loves playing spin. And then that Kohli dismissal. So one is talk about this problem of Pujara not being able to get runs. Is time up? Should we move on? And then we can talk about Mr. Kohli's dismissal as well.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry to say, but it's time up for Pujara. So he has got all the opportunities what he had to get to prove what he is capable of doing. So he has failed time and again. So maybe his mind frame is not clear now. He's struggling with the mindset, and all the opponents have exposed his weak areas clearly well. So and also he's become very weak on the field, running between the wickets, running behind the ball. You could see he's struggling. He's not that quick in the field. So I think he's becoming a liability now. It's time to move on. I think we need to groom a right number three batter now. Maybe Abhimanyu Ishwaran, or it might be you need to think if you can give Shubman Gill as a number three position, or Mayank. So something we have to sit down and plan, so that when you have 3-4 openers, maybe you can choose one among them and put them into that role right away, rather than waiting till the big test match when you go overseas and then exposing them on the big tours. So this is the time we have to sit down and plan. I think the BCCI has to take a right decision now. Yeah.
I
Yeah, Anil,
partially disagree with Mithun, respectfully though. I wouldn't say let's move on from Pujara. He does need a break, right? That's where I agree with him that he definitely needs a break. But I wouldn't call this as let's move on from Pujara, because I still feel he has a couple of more years, especially for Test cricket. That's my personal opinion.
And I mean, I agree with Suman. So where Pujara is struggling is he's an old Test match batsman, and you see he's struggling with spin, and spin bowling has evolved a lot. So now the spin bowlers know where to bowl, how to bowl, and the way he plays is like the old spin, uh, defense that you used to have. Now that needs to be evolved, and he hasn't gone back to Ranji or domestic cricket where you see Shreyas Iyer, you see Shubman Gill, you see Mayank Agarwal, how beautifully they play spin bowling. That's missing for say Rahane or for Kohli or even say Pujara because they don't have that experience anymore. Uh, so that's what I think Pujara needs to go back, work on his techniques because even if he's scoring runs, he's scoring very slowly and in very defensive manner. And if you look at Pujara, say 5 years back, he used to easily score a 70 strike rate for the first 50 odd runs. Then he used to become slow and then he used to pick up space. But even that's not happening anymore. So it's a matter of time where he goes back, work on his weakness, and then come back because you're obviously going to need experience at some point of time. Kohli is going to be out in a couple of years. Rohit is going to be out a couple of years. So until you can't just have a new six new people batting lineup. That shouldn't. That's not how it should work.
Yeah, I'm more leaning towards what Mithun is saying. I mean, because we have that one more test match, and the test matches are few and far in between. He's close to 34 now. We have Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Rahane, pretty much the same age. I think between Mayank, Gill, Shreyas, within these three, we probably need to start looking at two of them at least to start making a contribution to the Indian team because they are hungry. You look at Shreyas Iyer coming in straight away getting 100. Mayank Agarwal, to be honest, he was unfairly dropped. Poor guy had an injury in England. Then Rahul got a chance. He cemented his place. Otherwise, he might have still continued. So yeah, I mean, we all love Pujara. We all love his contribution. But yeah, I mean, at some point, team will have to make a decision. But hopefully, he'll get some runs. We'll take him to South Africa and go from there, I guess. Coming to Virat Kohli's dismissal, I think probably the biggest talking point today. I'll come to you, Suman. One is it's obviously a bad decision, it seems, to the eye from the on-field umpire. Then third umpire calling that as inconclusive. And for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's a arm ball probably and bat and pad close together. Umpire's given him out LBW. The third umpire didn't overturn it. And there's a lot of debate around whether he should have overturned it, whether it's conclusive evidence that the bat hit the ball first. Your thoughts, Suman?
I always thought benefit of the doubt should go for the batsman. So that tells me that Virat Kohli was unlucky because if there was doubt that it was out or not out, it should have been not out. I get it that on-field umpire did a mistake, but benefit of the doubt should have gone for Kohli. But having said that, I was also checking reactions on Twitter about his dismissal, and I think Sarang Bhalerao did put some detailed technical explanations about why an inconclusive decision was made. I think if the bat and pad are close, as close as possible, and if umpire does feel that they can't determine did the bat hit first or pad hit first, they would go and provide that as if it is close to body. I think the decision should be out. So you guys should check out that thread. So again, debatable. Bias. We are all supporting India and Kohli, and we do want him to play well. So understandably so, but mistakes do happen. And this series, the umpiring has been terrible, especially with likes of Nitin Menon and all, who are known to be top class umpires. I mean, yeah, unlucky Kohli, and return. He only gave more reasons for his haters to keep trolling him.
Your thoughts, Anil?
So if I look at it, if it was given not out and New Zealand would have gone for a review, uh, the third umpire would have still gone ahead and would have said not out. So the third umpire role is overturn only when he sees something very conclusive. He's following the law. People say, okay, you should have used common sense. A third umpire can't do that. He has to follow the law. If the law says, you have lunch at 11:30 because the law says you had that during English time, British time, so that's the law, so you follow it. You follow Duckworth Lewis law, so that's the law you will follow, no matter how mad it seems. For a third umpire, he has to follow that law. It was inconclusive. It was inconclusive for me also. I felt 60-40 that it touched the bat first, but there was this just one frame which made it look like it's touching both bat and pad at the same time. So that's Anil Chaudhary gave a out decision. If it was not out, it wouldn't have been overturned even if New Zealand would have gone for a review. So I think bad luck for Kohli, and like Suman said, more juice for the haters.
Yeah,
And
Mithun?
I also saw one other meme online that I think Virat Kohli had some history with Anil Chaudhary as an umpire in an IPL game and also in an England series. similar stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just unfortunate that this is happening. But look, we have to move on. But Mayank Agarwal, thankfully, overshadowed that decision and made the day for India.
I think a hotspot would have helped. I don't know why we do not have hotspot for this series. Must be yeah, it is on the
I don't think so. BCCI has used hotspot technology for most of the series in the past.
Yeah.
I think they've stopped it now. I don't know why.
yeah
Can't
because
be.
That's
I mean,
what it
can't be
needs to
money
be.
matter. Can't be money matter. I mean, it won't matter for BCCI.
okay,
For
quick
for
quick
Mayank,
one. Yeah, go on.
sorry, I just want to say something about Mayank Agarwal. Not just about the batting. I think after Suresh Raina, he's the only guy who gets more or equally happy when a bowler takes a wicket. You look at Suresh. You used to look at Suresh Raina, complete team man. He used to jump and he used to be more happy than the bowler. Same thing goes with Mayank Agarwal. When during Australian series, when Siraj was bowling really well, it was Mayank Agarwal who used to come and celebrate with him. You could see the same thing happening again and again in this particular series also, where he's much more of a team player. So you need players like this. So to support more players like Mayank Agarwal, I think it would be fantastic. Just another, yeah. So I think it's the right decision they did by not dropping Mayank Agarwal. But I just would have been happy that they would have come up with the true reasons why who has been replaced. I
Yeah,
mean, Jadeja does not need to be, moved out. I mean, you could just say that he's been rested because nobody's doubting Jadeja. Uh, Green pitch, Siraj would have made more sense. So you could say has been replaced by Siraj. Rahane, yeah. You don't
For
want to make it look like.
for the folks who are watching, most of you, a fun fact for you: the way we came up with concussion sub as our name is last year this time, Jadeja pulled a hamstring, which was real hamstring by the way, during the game, and concussion sub. No, not hamstring. Actually, he got hit on the head. So when you are having a concussion sub, you're supposed to have a like-to-like replacement. And guess what? Yuzvendra Chahal came in as a replacement, won the match for India, and bagged man of the match. So we have a history of creating injuries, guys.
And you have Marnus Lamshan,
shocking. So
who become a wonder boy.
within a word on Ajaz Patel, what a brilliant day he's had. And I agree to Anil's point. I was surprised that Neil Wagner didn't get a game, considering what 14 out of the 17 wickets was picked up by the Pacers in the first test match. That was surprising, but Ajaz Patel has kept New Zealand, in the game, and maybe few wickets early on tomorrow, and they could roll India out for 300.
Yeah, so because Indian batters are better prepared against spinners, that's the only reason you see he ended up with just 4 wickets. If it was any other team, he would have easily picked 7 to 8 wickets. And if you see, go back at the start of the innings, he troubled Mayank really well. So that incoming deliveries, the arm balls was troubling Mayank. There were occasions when he was about to get out, but luckily he survived that testing period and he ended up the day with good 120 runs there. If not, Ajaz Patel really bowled well. As I said, he would have easily picked 7 to 8 wickets on any other day. Yeah.
Yeah, some of the balls are really spinning sharply, not that slow dead turn. Anil, looking ahead, what's happening tomorrow? India declaring at some point, or India getting bowled out? What are your expectations?
I think India will get bowled out. I don't see why they will declare, but I don't see a long partnership happening also, because the pitch, Ajaz Patel is bowling really well. So I'm looking at a score of 350 for India from here, and then Jayant Yadav is gonna come. He's gonna take five for, I feel. This pitch is for Jayant Yadav, I feel.
Yeah, the pitch has been fantastic. It's supporting batsman, fast bowler. There has been swing, understandably there, and also spin. But I
So
feel Mayank will go for a
that's
double hundred.
No, I was saying Suman. So the pitch has been good for both the test matches. Does that mean we're gonna BCCI gonna get some accolades? Because when the pitch is bad, they say, "Oh, BCCI pitch is bad, pitch is bad."
I
But
mean,
here,
groundsman
nobody
sure.
seems to be.
The Kanpur
Yeah,
groundsman already got the bonus from pocket money from Dravid. So, and Mumbai pitch is also getting a lot of appreciation on the internet. and I do see why, because it's got runs, it's got wickets, and there is swing due to the moisture in the wicket. So yeah, credit to BCCI if if they create sporting pitches and if their matches go till 5 days, that's what fans look for. And in addition to that, tickets as well for fans like you.
Yeah, Mithun, what are you expecting? I agree. Wankhede is always good, and to be honest, I do not mind a 2-day test match if teams have bad spinners. Like it's not the groundsman's problem. Even today, the ball was sharply turning, so I think that 300 would be a very very good score.
No, it's actually never been a problem. It's just that your international media, the international teams who can't play spin, they just term it as bad pitch, bad pitch. So that was my point related to
I agree, Mithun.
Yeah,
Left
so I
armers, I
feel
think. Go
so
on.
it's going to be India again on the day two also. So India will manage to score around 400 runs, bat once, and put Kiwis onto the back foot, and the chances of taking a innings victory there. So it will go on to the third day for sure, but India is going to win. And
Yeah, I feel that as well. And there's something about Wankhede and left arm spinners. So I'm betting on
accept it.
Akshar Patel picking up a lot of wickets. I remember Murli Karthik, who did not have the best of Test careers, but I remember that famous game in 2004 where he bagged a lot of wickets in Mumbai. So I think finger spinners who bowl at the right pace, I think they'll be in for a lot of fun. Right. So this was the first day's review. Thank you so much, Suman, Anil, and Mithun. And for folks who are watching our channel for the first time, do look out our channel for other cricketing contents you may like. We will be doing the reviews for this test match each day. So do look and try to join us. And we look forward to having you back another day, another show. Till then, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you back. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Rahane.
yeah. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Rahane. We'll see you back.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Anand.
guys.
Yeah.
Bye, bye, bye.